So, hooray, David is back from his hiatus. Looks like we will be down Alyssa tonight. And we're just waiting for Corey to show up.
She might not even realize what time it is.
That is possible. So while we are waiting on Corey, I shall bring us in. Welcome to the Pirates of Drinax. We will be picking up right where we left off last week. This will be part 2 of Treasure Ship. But before I get started, I'd like to thank the friends of the Greenwater Guildhall. If you're watching on Twitch, scroll down. You should see some tiles there. If you don't see the tiles, please click on my image or my profile image, and those tiles should pop up, and they will link you to these fine people's websites. The first on the list is Speechless Bard. Speechless Bard makes beautiful leather products for your tabletop role-playing games. She has leather covers for your core rulebook. She has a full line of dice bracelets. There's a dice mat that you can roll on that when you roll it up, it looks like a spell scroll. She handpicks all the swaths of leather, does all of the work by hand. She does absolutely fantastic artistry on every piece. If you're going to order from her, though, make sure that you give yourself a little bit of extra time, especially if it's for a time-sensitive issue like a gift or something like that. She is in the UK, so it can take a little bit of time to get across the pond. Next on the list is Fable Beard Company. The Fable Beard Company makes beard products, such as oils, balms, butters, and co-wash. And each of their scent profiles is a different fantasy character. Today I am wearing the Hero, which smells of warm cologne and rich tobacco. They have many different scent profiles, and if you are a first-time purchaser, they have a buy one, get one free offer. Just go on to their website, create an account, and put 2 beard oils in your cart, and if you use the code FIRST in all capital letters, the second beard oil will be discounted to free. And if you are a fan of our Traveler game, you can follow along on our official website via Obsidian Portal. The activity log is shown, or adventure log rather, is shown as a series of news blurbs that details all of the crazy antics that these guys get to as they traipse across the Trojan Reach. Okay, so we're still waiting on him. I will go ahead and bring us up to date on what is going on. So, these guys learned of a Imperial treasure ship that was traveling from the Imperium to the Aslan Herate. And these treasure ships have been running... This model of treasure ship has been running for thousands of years. Some of these models can date all the way back to the first Imperium. They just keep using them because they work. As you can see by the map, they are built around a central vault. Essentially, the rest of the ship could be blown away, but that vault will probably survive. They learned of this ship. It's called the Martin II. Had suffered a jump drive explosion and was forced to land on the planet Irontooth. They rushed to Irontooth because this is a opportunity for pirates that just cannot be passed up. And they have, most of the crew has passed themselves off as hiring on to help repair the Martin II. The Martin II has a lot of open vacancies for crew because when that jump drive exploded, a lot of them got sucked out into space. And so Captain Beth has signed on to do some medical work, Ching Shi is signed on to be an auxiliary pilot. Let's see here. Rexar has signed on as, I don't know, gunnery, I guess. And meanwhile, Keith Clark and Raph have stayed back doing repairs to the Harrier because it was in a couple of furballs and had some dings that needed to be hammered out. The last thing that the crew learned was that they had sent word back to their secret pirate space station in the Borite system, and it was going to be about 5 weeks for ships from their pirate fleet to get back here to Arenisir. The bad news is that at this point, the Martin II looks like it is going to be ready to jump in about 3 weeks. And so they don't know that their pirate fleet is going to have enough time to meet them here. However, there is more going on than just that. And we will get to that in but a moment. We're going to give Rexar here just another minute or two to log in. I haven't heard anything back from him, but we will see. So, Bakasura, would you prefer to be... Yeah, we're going to keep you on the Harrier, and you guys can figure out what you're going to do from there. Also, David, did you pick a new leg for Bakasura?
I haven't.
There he is.
Hello.
I was just going over a recap of where you guys left off. So, David, how much money was Bakasura wanting to spend on a leg?
Well, what are my options?
Well, you could go with a functional prosthetic. I mean, if you want to really, embrace the whole pirate thing, you could go with a crude prosthetic. Then, of course, because you were on Thief, you could get a leg that offers enhanced mobility.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. So, a TL8 version is 10,000 credits. But it adds 1.5 meters of movement on your turn. So basically, that is one additional hex that you can move. TL11 is 15,000, and let's see, it says internal chemical pumps and fatigue-resistant fibers are added, greatly increasing ground speed and agility. This augment adds 3 meters to the distance, so 2 additional hexes. And all checks based on balance or ambulatory reflexes are made with a +2. And the last option is a TL13, 25,000 credits. It is made of superior materials designed to maximize efficiency and stability. This augment adds 6 meters to the distance traveler moves with a minor action, and all checks based on balance or ambulatory reflexes are made with a +3.
That one.
Okay, 12,000 credits.
So it seems like if you're only replacing one leg with the super bionic powers, then do you go that fast in a circle? Because
Right.
I forgot the skateboard and watch.
yeah, one leg is normal and one is bionic, so it just zips you around in a circle.
So,
real fast.
yeah, the way I have it, I'm thinking that they probably replaced both legs. And with this amount of movement added, it probably pops and breaks open to like spider legs, which makes him move faster.
Ooh,
So it's
okay.
kind of like something out of like, Ghost in the Shell, where the leg just kind of pops open and more legs come out to make him move faster. Because basically what this is saying is that on a, let me recheck the, no, it adds 6 meters. So with a minor action, So with a minor action, you can already move 6 meters. So on his minor action, he can move 12. Which,
Sweet.
that's a shit ton of hexes really fast. So yeah, you want to put down on your sheet, you'll want to put down on your sheet that you have enhanced mobility at TL13. And I don't know where you'd put it, but +3 to balance checks. So,
You said the TL13?
correct.
Okay.
So you're on the Harrier, and Chief Engineer Keith Clark is finishing up some repairs. Bakasura, make an electronic sensors check. If you don't have sensors, it's just electronics. I'm sorry, electronic sensors plus intellect.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. 9.
Okay. So on your 9, your sensors pick up that a ship has come out of jump, quickly approaches the planet, and there is a burst transmission, and then that ship jumps back out. Make a electronics communications check.
Oh, God.
Electronics comms plus intellect or EDU, your choice.
Uh, 7?
Okay, so on a 7, you're not able to decode what this message says. You have a recording of it in your comms buffer. But you know that it was beamed directly to the Martin II, which is the treasure ship, and there was a response beamed back. But they're encoded, and you can't understand what the message is.
Can I have Keith Clark try
Sure.
to decode it? Okay.
So it'd be electronics, communications, plus either intellect or EDU. Is Keith with us tonight?
No, but his character sheet is, so.
Sweet.
Yeah. Is it 8? That's not bad, or I didn't roll very well.
Actually, that does decode it. So hold on here. So this message is actually from a the ship that jumped in and beamed the message to the Martin II was a a Type S scout ship called it is called, hold on here. So it's called the Dancing Spider. And the message, the Dancing Spider evidently is a part of the pirate Hroal Irontooth's retinue. And its message is basically wanting to know what is taking so long. And the message that has beamed back was that there were unforeseen complications. Everything is on schedule. Please wait quietly at the XE system. And the Martin II will be there in a couple weeks.
All right, and I would imagine Keith would share that with everybody.
Oh, most certainly. So the other thing that you guys found out inadvertently was that while Captain Beth was doctoring over on the Martin II, and she discovered that a couple of the Marines that are stationed aboard the Martin II have some PTSD issues, and they were going to try and exploit that by making one of them, or suggesting one of them to go a little bit more batshit than he already is, and cause like a mutiny situation going on. And Ching-Shi failed, but in the process of her failure, discovered that the other Marine that she was trying to do the suggestion on is actually already under telepathic control from somebody from Hroal Irontooth. Somebody that works for Hroal Irontooth had already planted telepathic suggestions, and this guy is like on the verge of becoming an all-out murderer and just losing his shit on everybody.
So we need to sabotage this somehow.
Well, you have a couple of options. So you could continue forth with your mutiny idea. You could Hroal Irontooth is a pirate. You didn't get a chance to meet him personally, but you're sure. I mean, it's pretty much a given that word of your exploits with Admiral Darokin have probably spread around the rumor mill, and it would be thought. I mean, it would be obvious that you guys have taken over Ferric Redthane's pirates. So, that would be an option. You could always try to get a communication to him and throw in with him. Which would just mean that you would have to wait until you get to the XE system, because you know that there is an ambush set up for the Martin II in XE by Hroal Irontooth. So all you'd have to do is wait, and once the Martin II arrives there, you could send a message to Hroal Irontooth and cross your fingers that you could form an alliance and do it that way and split the proceeds of the Martin II evenly would be an option.
Maybe we could wait for them to ambush it and then swoop in.
Right. You could do that.
So, I'm open to suggestions. Any particular thing sound better than another one? I thought we were just going to try and play it, but if another pirate's going to go after it, that's a different thing.
A full frontal assault would be suicide.
To share. So if we can figure out a way to do this without having to share, that's... I don't... Irontooth was like the anti-Aslan guy that was bad news.
No, Hroal Irontooth is an Aslan. And
wait, I've been like going backwards.
Right, yeah. Peter Vallis was the anti-Aslan guy, but Hroal Irontooth is actually an Aslan himself.
I thought Irontooth was the racist dude.
No. So
I still think we crew on the Martin and then use Irontooth's ambush as cover for our own operation.
So there's one other complicating part to this that I need to remind you of. So the vault itself is locked, and it is the locking mechanism is both biometric and tied to astrogation. So right now the vault is keyed so that it cannot be opened until it reaches the Birney system. At which case, then the captain can use a biometric key that will unlock the vault. If you try to open it anywhere else, it won't open. So even if Hroal Irontooth ambushes the Martin II in the Xe system, yeah, they can go in and loot the ship and kill everybody they see and pick the bones clean. They still won't be able to get into the vault.
Is the vault TGMP resistant?
Yes, it is.
Fuck. There goes my plan, guys.
Maybe what we should have done is send our crew to the Birney system to wait in case he has a way to open it there.
Could we somehow Fast and Furious heist this?
How? I don't know. I haven't seen that. What does that mean?
So like send some people on to the ship to help, and then we jump them with our ship between their next destination, since we'll be literally knowing exactly where they're at the entire time.
So we discussed that possibility last week, and the vault is like too big for us to heist it out.
Yeah, the vault's so big, I mean, you could practically land the Harrier itself inside this vault.
So we can't like blow out the vault and take it with us on our ship. That's not an option. I tried talking my way into that a couple of times.
So, Ching Shi, make an astrogation check. Astrogation plus either EDU or intellect.
Okay. Let me I just reprinted my character sheet. Let me grab it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 11.
So you know that when the Martin II leaves Irontooth, it will jump to Acrid. It will then jump to Xe. Hold on here. Let me bring up a star chart. How about that? Okay, so the Harrier right now is at Irontooth here. It will go to Acrid. It will then go to Xe. It will go to Tech World. It will go to Ergo. Where's Ergo? There's her go. And then it will jump to Birney. And according to the astrogation logs, it's planned that the ship will land at each of those locations to fuel up. It's not going to land in Akron. It's going to refuel at the gas giant and then move on. But at all other locations, the plan is for the Martin II to land, refuel, and then immediately take off and jump again. They're expecting 3 days of downtime at each location. The captain's in a hurry and wants this mission to be over and done with.
So if they're going there, they must have some way to open it.
They have a way to open it once they get to Birney. It is coded that it is coded to astrogation that it cannot be opened until it reaches Birney. And then in order to open it, the captain would have to use his biometric key to open the vault. But before then, it doesn't matter if you have the biometric key or not. The vault won't open because you're not in the Birney system.
Right, so is there any way of telling who put in that flight plan? Because if it was put in by the captain, then maybe they're going to do, if it was put in by the Martin II's captain or astrogator, maybe obviously they don't realize that they're going to be ambushed in XC, so Irontooth might take it somewhere else before Birney instead. Or is it someone from Irontooth's crew who the spy who astrogated it all, and that's where we know they're going?
This mission or this astrogation plot was put in by astrogator Osha, the human woman that was from the planet Dolberg, who is blue and has gills because she is mutated from living on a water world.
Right, and she's a hornball.
Right, and she was fucking the guy who accidentally, or not so accidentally, blew up the jump drive. Right.
Yeah. So the question is she the one working for Irontooth, in addition to the Royal Marine?
Now, if you wanted to, you could leave a message here on Irontooth for your pirate fleet. You just need to find somebody that you can trust, or somebody that you can pay to be trustworthy. And you've made some contacts at the local generic bar and grill.
What do you think, Captain?
I'm trying to think. So, I'm wondering if we should go to the Birney system and ambush them there, or another thing I was thinking was maybe we try and steal the biometric key while they're ambushing the thing, unless the captain has it on them. I don't know what a biometric key is like.
Basically,
It's like
it is
fingerprint.
basically it's basically it is a key that has a sensor in the end of it that not only checks his fingerprint but his actual DNA.
Yeah, basically what we need is from the first Avengers movie, that thing that Loki uses to get the dude's eyeball.
An axe.
Like, bam, and then undoes the guy's eyeball and reforms it.
Does the biometric key check for a pulse?
Or just DNA.
It looks from what you understand, it just checks for DNA.
Excellent.
So we just need to steal like his hand, and then book it to Birney.
Does
Something.
Does anybody have
Glove.
Does anybody have electronics computers?
Yes. I'm sure I do, but I'm sure someone else does too.
Clark does.
Jack of all trades.
I've got computers one.
So somebody can go ahead and make a electronics computers plus intellect or EDU check.
Wow. 14.
So on a 14, you know that to break the encryption on the vault's door would require like a TL-15 supercomputer in order to crack that encryption. It's not something that you're going to be able to do even with your ship's computer. It's not going to be able to crack it.
Well, I don't think we're trying to hack it. We're trying to figure out if we can chop off the captain's finger on our way out of town and take his finger with us to Birney and open it that way, like with his DNA. I don't think we're trying to get around that requirement. We're just trying to get around having the captain alive and in tow.
Well, I mean, then the question comes in as to, I mean, so this is a 1,600 ton ship. It has a requirement of a crew of captain, pilot, astrogator, 5 engineers, 2 maintenance people. Then it has medic, 8 gunners, and 8 hard pressed to crew.
So here's the plan. They try and ambush, and they'll be worn out from fighting each other. So that's when we swoop in, try and take a rest. The attack happens. That's what I think we should do. If you're thinking about it for a while.
So Rexar.
We should have crew hiding at like at XE so when the first jump, or do you want them at Birney for the second jump?
I was thinking just having them on this planet, like calling sick, and then they get ambushed, and then we go in to the same place that they did, and whoever's there is going to be like totally surprised and very worn out from having shot at each other.
Rexar, make a recon plus intellect check.
I'm good at recon, not intellect. That is a 9.
So Rexar knows from moving around about the turrets and with the weapons crews, he knows that essentially the cargo hold down the lower cargo deck, all the way down here, you could hide in that cargo hold and nobody would really know you're there.
All right, so the people aboard the Harrier could tell us when the ambush is going to start. Then we could go hide, and then we could attack. Like have people come in the ship from the Harrier and have us come up from the cargo hold.
And the Harrier can follow you. Raph knows how to pilot the Harrier.
So I think that'd be a pretty good plan.
So your plan is to stash yourselves aboard and then wait until it gets to XE and join in during the ambush?
Wait until the shooting stops. So either the ship or the pirates prevail. And then whoever's left, we ambush them.
Okay. So 3 weeks. So then my question is, are you leaving message here on a run-a-seer to leave for your pirate fleet to tell them to meet you in Exie? Is that what your plan is?
Why in Etsy? Why there instead of Bernie?
Well, you could, yeah, I mean, you could, the ambush is going to take place in Exie, but you could tell your fleet, they're going to be at least 2 or 3 weeks behind you.
Okay.
Actually, they would be almost exactly a week behind you.
Okay. Yeah, I want them to know where we went and what we're doing. So somebody at Generics could do it, I'm sure.
Okay, so Bakasura, you have Streetwise?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead and make a Streetwise plus intellect check.
Oh no. 5.
Okay, are you going to so you're talking to the bartender at Generic. Do you want to offer them any money? Sorry guys,
Yeah.
Hold that thought, I'll be right back.
I will offer 500 credits. Is that like a good bribe amount?
Well, can you psionic them into doing what you want them to, even though you didn't do a great job convincing them?
Oh, maybe.
Just be like, you want to
I have to look at my psionic.
use your unagi, and you want to help us, even though I failed my persuasion check.
Oh shit. Yeah, I can give them a suggestion, but there's a very low chance of success.
In that case, I will help you front the funds for bribery.
There's a ship fund. It's not a. Yeah.
Fair enough. We do divert quite a bit in there, so it's our bribery fund.
Yeah.
Our wheel greasing fund.
It's the all access pass.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. So, back at Sura, were you going to try to use psionics on him?
Initially, yes, but it would take a really, really perfect roll in order for it to be successful. So, I don't think so.
So, they tell you that the bartender says, well, you know, my time's worth money too. Spot me 2,000 credits and I can make sure your shipmates get the message.
I'll give him 2,500 credits.
Excellent. They will definitely get the message. And he promises to keep his mouth shut about to anybody else that wants to know as well.
Yeah.
So 3 weeks goes by, and the Martin II is getting ready for liftoff. Now, were you guys going to attempt to remain as part of the crew, or are you going to stash yourselves in the lower cargo hold?
I vote stash because if we're listed as crew, they might be like, oh shit, there's this and that listed. Where are they? My deal. So.
You said that it's common for people to be walking around here in battle dress. Does that mean I could be wearing mine since I'm a gunner?
No, it's not common for them to walk around in battle dress. They have battle dress. And it is common for them, like at the slightest provocation, for the Marines to suit up in battle dress. You have hired on as a gunner, so you would be extremely out of place walking around in battle dress.
Damn.
I think you could sneak it into the cargo hold at some point during this couple of weeks after the plan's been formulated. That's.
Let me tiptoe into the cargo bay.
I'll put it in a case or something. I don't know. I don't
Well,
have battle
Use
dress.
silent.
So just check it.
who wants to make a deception plus intellect check to try and stash his battle dress in a cargo crate bound for the lower cargo deck?
I'm not good at deception.
I don't have it. I have
I have a +1 in deception.
over it.
Is it plus intellect?
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh. That is 11.
Okay, so you are able to stash you are able to stash Rexar's battle dress in a cargo crate that's basically labeled as spare parts, and it is loaded up into the lower cargo deck where it would remain and gather dust until somebody comes and gets it.
It's labeled definitely not battle dress or power armor.
No, it's labeled cat toys.
And it says, this is a weapon of mass destruction free box.
Certainly no plasma guns in here.
Definitely not a PGMP.
So the 3 weeks goes by, and you guys hole up in the lower cargo deck, and the Martin II lifts off. And it lifts off. There are the two Gazelle-class escorts in orbit, the Camino and the Camino and the Arshad. And the two Gazelles take up position on either side of the of Martin II, and they synchronize their jump clocks, and all three ships jump at once. And Raph does a pretty good job, and she jumps immediately behind, but she makes sure that she's keeping enough distance so it doesn't look like she's following.
Fly casual.
Right. The first stop They stop at Acrid 2, where you guys had spent plenty of time, and the workers' union gives them clearance to land. And the lumber. The problem with the Martin 2 is that treasure ships don't so much land as kind of fall and hopefully catch themselves on the docking pad. So everybody that's hiding in the lower cargo deck, make a make an athletics dexterity check. If you don't have athletics, you can just make a dexterity check.
Seven.
4.
I got lucky. 8 on the dot.
Nice. So, Ching Shi and Captain Beth, you take like 1 point of stun damage as you are knocked around the cargo hold. There's really no place for you to strap in or anything like that. You're just holding on for dear life. Raph. So Raph uses the gas giant to refuel, but she doesn't do very well on her piloting, and the Harrier takes 3 points of hull damage during the process of refueling. But on her second attempt, she's able to refuel and waits just outside the 100 diameter jump limit for the Martin II to leave. And after 3 days, and you guys at this point are living on rations, and Rexar, you found the cargo crate labeled cat toys, definitely not weapons of mass destruction. And so you have your battle dress and your PGMP available.
Should it just be labeled formal wear?
Yes, party wear. And after 3 days, the Martin II lifts off once again and jumps for Exie.
Yes.
So, back to Sura. Do you have astrogation?
I don't think so. I was the only one that didn't have a negative on it in our campaign.
Right. Well, you're good. Go ahead and make an astrogation plus intellect or EDU, your choice.
Okay. Oh, so bad. 6.
Okay. So, Captain Beth, you can have Chief Clark make a J drive check. J drive plus EDU or intellect, your choice. But they're at -2.
Ouch.
Let's see here. Where's J drive on here?
Should be engineering J drive.
Okay. So looks like a 5.
Oh no.
If he fucking dies and I rolled it, this is gonna be just like the worst thing.
No. So after a week, the Martin II and the 2 Gazelle class escorts come out of jump, and you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you are not picking up any communications from the Harrier. The Harrier has misjumped.
No!
So where are they?
We don't know.
Well, you wouldn't know, but they didn't misjump far. So let's see, he got a 7. So after about 14 hours, you receive a message. So they are in the XE system. However, where they jumped at the edge of the system, and they are 14 hours out from your current location.
Oh shit.
That may cause you some problems.
Save the day.
So all the way over to the right and on the top, this is what the ambush looks like. So Hroal Irontooth launches his ambush against the Martin II. The first thing he does, he is in a Halaheki class pocket warship, and he launches all of the pocket warship's light fighters. His ship, the pocket warship, is named the Meat Grinder. These are all the little light fighters. One of his best lieutenants, which is an uplifted ape, is piloting a salvager that also operates as a light carrier called the Monkey Business. Over here, he has a far trader named Sindal Shame, and then there is a Type S scout named the Dancing Spider. The Arshad immediately turns and full thrusts to meet the onslaught of the Meat Grinder. The Meat Grinder comes at the Arshad head on, firing its particle beam bays. These are capital ship guns pounding the shit out of the Arshad. Let's see if the Arshad is going to survive this. Well, the Arshad survives, but she's not going to be going anywhere for some time. She is a smoking wreck. Both of her drives are out. She's got, she has problems with her reactor. Let's see here. Yeah, the Arshad's weapons turrets are destroyed. The Camino takes a beating, but destroys a number of light fighters. The Dancing Spider and Sindal's Shame lose their nerve, and they jump out. Hroal Irontooth finishes his job on the Arshad and destroys her outright. But he's taken a beating as well, so he jumps out. And then Monkey Business collects what's left of the fighters, and they jump out. But the treasure ship also took a crap ton of damage, and her hull is down to 42 points. From a total of 704. So she took a beating, but is still going. Chin-Shi, make a electronics comms check plus intellect or EDU, your choice. So on a 10, you having access to the auxiliary pilot's comms, you intercept a message from the captain. It's basically an internal message to the flight crew. Basically, they're saying, to hell with Exie, they are going to jump using what fuel reserves they have left. They're jumping to Tech World. And they are going to set down at Tech World for repairs, mostly because Exie just isn't going to have the facilities to do these kinds of repairs to the Martin II. The Camino is going to wait behind a week to help collect any survivors from the Arshad and meet up in a week at Tech World. So basically the treasure ship's going to be at Tech World for at least a week. Whoops.
I'm just super confused as to why Irontooth would bail when they took out one of the protection ships.
Well, he took a lot of damage as well, and the Camino really didn't take a lot of damage. He couldn't go toe-to-toe a second time. And here's the problem with Helihiki pocket warships, is that the Helihiki tries to do too many things at once. And so because it doesn't focus on being a warship or being a carrier or anything like that, it tries to do all of it. It's not really good at any of it. And so, yeah, he beat the crap out of one of those gazelles, but if he were to go against the second gazelle or get into range of the treasure ship's own beam lasers, he probably would have been cut apart.
I just was like, that he's destroyed one of the ships, and now he's running away. What? Doesn't make sense, but okay.
You want it beneficial to use your favorite photo?
So, oh no. So, Bakasura, go ahead and make a astrogation check plus EDU or intellect.
Okay. Six.
Okay. Captain Beth, have Keith Clark make a engineering J drive plus EDU or intellect at -2.
Please don't leave us stranded in the belly of this cargo ship hiding because you can't follow us. Please.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I got a different dice set now, so we'll see.
Yeah, an 8.
Oh, excellent. Perfect. No problem at all.
A little bit of a problem. This guy.
So here's something that you guys might be interested in. So there is a way to get skills aside from purchasing them. And the way of doing that is to get a cybernetic installed called a wafer jack. And a wafer jack is basically you can install a USB port at the base of your head, and you can buy particular skills up to skill rank 3 that you can chip in, and then you know the skill. It's like the Matrix. I want to know Kung Fu. Okay, well, there's a chip for that. You just plug in a thumb drive, and now you know Kung Fu.
I want that.
So that might be something to consider. And I think you can run 2 wafers at a time. So you can have 2 different skill chips inserted at one time, giving you a bonus.
I could probably install that if anybody buys one.
That's probably true.
Yeah, I want.
I don't know. I'd be scared of somebody putting something. You could probably get some bad stuff jacked in that way.
Yes.
I want it so bad.
It had to only speak in Pig Latin or something.
So there are rumors that most people don't take seriously that the Third Imperium has secret agents that are entirely stored on a wafer chip, and when inserted, it takes over the person's personality and becomes this new agent.
That's like altered carbon. I love it.
Kind.
So altered carbon stole it from.
Raf's going to go ahead and set down on Tech World so that Keith Clark can do some repairs. But when you guys come into land at Tech World is very strange. So the local information that pops up on the Harrier's computer screen is that Tech World is a location where it is a free port that is open to all scientists and all studies. There is no restriction on anything that anybody does here. And when you're coming into the port, you can see that this port looks like it's made out of like carbon Lego blocks, and the landing pads just reform themselves to match your ship. And you land, and the whole landing pad just kind of morphs up and becomes a part of the building, and the building forms around the landing pad. Population of Tech World is in the millions, with over 80% of that population being robots.
Do you think any of them would be interested in trying to bust open the treasure thing?
That's a good question. Are you guys staying hidden in the cargo bay, or are you going to go out and explore?
I'm not sure. I thought that the Harrier's crew would definitely go out and explore and then like advise us on what's going on.
Okay, so the Harrier crew will take off. Bakasura, make a Streetwise plus intellect or EDU check.
Ooh, 13.
Okay. So back on Irontooth, you guys ran into a guy who had told you that he was a spare parts vendor. His name was Aparo. And Aparo was on Irontooth, and he was a passenger aboard a trader called the Hopeful Wanderer. Bakasura, you spot Aparo, and you see that the Hopeful Wanderer is docked here at Tech World. Now, the weird thing about Aparo was that he told you that he was a parts trader. However, the captain of the Hopeful Wanderer, Captain Bell, told you guys that Aparo had been renting a warehouse under the name CP Computing. What would you like to do, Bakasura? And technically Chief Clerk.
Well, I was going to assist Keith Clark in repairing our ship, so starting with the body, I guess.
Okay. Well, so Captain Beth, go ahead and allow Keith Clark to make a mechanics check, and he gets a boon dice.
I'm holding the flashlight.
Yeah, you can hear him just cussing. God damn it. Constantly pulling out dents.
It's out of 10.
Perfect. So he's able to get the dents out. However, he tells you, Bakasura, that you should go and see about purchasing some more spares, because you guys in the last couple of battles have quickly worked through your spares, spare parts in quick repairs for damage and whatnot. You should go see about purchasing some more spares.
It's okay. That sucks. So I'm gonna make my way out to go find that, and on my way out I'm gonna put my hand in like the community tip jar and just grab a handful of cash.
Yeah. Right. So the inside of the starbase spaceport and city on Tech World is basically one gigantic arcology, and the arcology is so big that it generates its own weather patterns. And so right now it is raining, and it is a neon lit, wet lit street. Imagine like Tokyo Chiba district, but at night, and there's neon lights all over the place. Half the people that are walking around that you notice aren't actually people, they're skin jobs. And you can tell that they're skin jobs because they'll have like some marker on them showing that they're a corporate entity, or there's a line showing that they're, in the skin showing that they're not really a human. But other than that, they look completely real. And you find a Starship parts shop behind the counter indeed is a skin job. And she looks up and she says, "Hello, my name is Ruby 17. What can I do for you?"
I hate this.
Are you programmed as a pleasure model?
I need spare parts for the ship, for our ship. How many?
Just say no to drugs, Bakasura. No drugs.
I was on a really long bender, so.
You're detoxing?
Swear on my spider legs, I'm clean now. She tells you, of course, we have spares available. They are 4 million per ton.
And we just went through 4 tons.
Yes, actually went through a bit more than that. She says, if you'd like to purchase on credit, we can certainly open an account for you.
Do we have that much money?
I definitely don't think so.
No. We have 750K in ship fund.
Oof.
Yeah,
That's
so
enough, right?
it's like we're gonna go to discount guy. Ask him if there's any nerds here who see hacking the treasure vault as a challenge. Seems like a planet full of nerds that would be into that kind of thing.
Yeah, where can I find a hacker?
Back to Sura. Make a Recon plus Intellect check.
Oh, okay. Eight.
So out of the corner of your eye, you see a Paro that you met from Irontooth, and across the street is a series of on one side, on the right side, there is an Advantage Hotel, which is basically a little bit better than like a coffin hotel, and on the left side is a series of cargo containers for temporarily storing parts. And you see him go back in there, and he looks like he's being shifty as shit, making sure that he's not being followed. And you can see him out the window of this spare parts shop.
Yeah, I'm gonna just walk straight to him. Not even gonna be like, not gonna be casual about it at all.
Okay, so you're just gonna walk straight towards him. He loses his nerve, and he sees you coming toward him, draws a body pistol, and tries to move into the cargo containers as quickly as he can.
I'm gonna put my hands up, be like, wait. I have a job for you.
Huh. Do you have diplomacy?
I don't have a negative in it.
Go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
Damn it. 5.
He says, he kind of comes out of the shadows, and he doesn't lower his gun. He says, what if I had a job for you?
So we can do these jobs for each other as payment?
He says, oh, there'd be payment for you. He says, and he tucks his body pistol back into a secret holster in his jacket, and he says, follow me. Come back here into my office.
It's like talking to my uncle all over again. Yeah, okay.
So he leads you back to a cargo container, and he puts in a key card, and the door opens up, and you can see on the screen that it says that the key card is acknowledged as CP Computing. And he opens up this cargo container, and inside is a massive supercomputer. And he leads you inside, and he shuts the door, and he says, look, he says, so here's the situation. I'm not really a spare parts vendor that was trying to get money, extort money off of the ship that was damaged. I actually work for General Development Corporation. You probably heard of us.
Yeah, absolutely heard of you.
It says, right now there are 2 Judeco operatives that are disguised as crew members aboard the Martin II right now. Now, one of them in particular has a very specific job. I need you to make sure that job happens.
How would I do that?
He says, well, I'm not stupid. I know that you have people in disguise on board that ship as well.
Me? What?
He says, now here's the thing. Because we operate in cells, I don't know the identity of my 2 agents aboard the Martin II. But I can tell you that there's going to be an order of operations that has to take place. When that ship gets to Birney, the vault is going to be opened. There are going to be Aslan representatives that are going to come aboard at Birney. I need you to make sure that a particular document is available to be seen in the open in the vault.
So you want me to smuggle a document onto the thing into the vault?
The document technically is already on the ship. That's the good news. You don't have to smuggle anything. You just have to tell your people to make sure that this document is out in the open so that the Aslan can see it.
I think I know an Aslan that could help with this.
He says, now, it is my understanding that you aren't really pirates. You're agents of the Kingdom of Drinax. Is that correct?
What the? No.
Rude.
He says, this...
Am I supposed to tell them? Am I supposed to advertise? Do we advertise?
He says, this document will help the Kingdom of Drinax as well. But it's going to make things a little topsy-turvy all over the place. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I'm all for that. Yeah, we're on.
What is it? Ask me what it is.
I'm assuming we get paid more if we don't know what it is that we're doing.
He tells you that he will pay you 2 mega credits to make sure that this takes place. He says, what you decide to do with the rest of the interior of the vault is up to you. I don't care. If you want to steal stuff, I don't care. But make sure that this document is seen. And he tells you the document is the Treaty of Fiterl. Now, you know that the Treaty of Fiterl basically says that the Aslan will not progress to within 30 parsecs of any planet in the Imperium. Which is kind of why they're all over the place here in the Trojan Reach. They got room to deal with shit. And basically the Imperium looks at the Trojan Reach like, oh, well, this is our stopgap. He says, so you just have to make sure that this treaty is out in the open where they can see it.
Simple enough.
Now, it would be, it is also common knowledge that, I mean, the Treaty of Fiterl, the Aslan already know what the treaty says.
But why would that cause anything to happen? I'm confused, I guess.
No, you're right on track.
So what's so special about this treaty?
He says, well, we made a few modifications. You know, addendums, appendices, this and that.
Does it banish the Aslan somewhere? To do?
He says, well, I'm not going to bore you with, you know, how we came to this conclusion, but essentially this treaty has a clause in it. Clause, Aslan. That basically cedes the ability for the Aslan to take over any planet that they want in the Trojan Reach.
So I'm not sure I understand. So the treaty addendums say that Aslan agreed to not take over any planets in the Trojan Reach.
So the original treaty said that Aslan were not allowed to come within 30 parsecs of an imperial world.
Okay.
This treaty, let's see here. Hold on, and I'll read you exactly what it says. This treaty has a clause in it that sanctions the Aslan conquest of dozens of worlds on the far side of the Trojan Reach. Essentially, if this treaty were to be revealed, say, by a pirate attack or by an unexpected customs inspection, the public sentiment across the Reach would turn towards war. Even if the Aslan make no hostile moves, this treaty would drive the neutral worlds crazy. So suddenly, the real treaty says that these planets are off grounds. They're not, anything that the Aslan can take over. This treaty cedes dozens of worlds and says that in actuality, the Aslan have always had the right to take over those planets. And he says that there is an agent on board, another Judecco agent, that all you have to do is make sure that he's not hindered when the vault is opened. Now, he explains to you how this would help Drinax, because if all of these planets are going to end up wanting to go to war with the Aslan, they're going to also be looking for protection. And the only way that they're going to get protection is by grouping together. And if Drinax is forming a new kingdom, that's their chance at being protected.
So how do we feel about potentially starting a civil war with the Aslan? I feel like we have at least one person on the team that would not like that very much.
Not a civil war. This is a full-on interstellar war.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think our entire team would be on board with sanctioning that, but it does allow them to get more land, so I don't know.
Think about the glory of XR.
It's more that we're on the side of, we're at least currently on the side of those that would consolidate power against the Aslan.
Right, and you still would be. It's just that it would be a lot easier for you to get these planets to join the kingdom of Drinax if they all thought the Aslan were going to come in and slaughter them.
Right.
It would also mean that General Development Corporation would suddenly start making a lot more money because all of these planets are going to want upgrades to their spaceports.
All right, well, back in story, you're there by yourself, so good luck. Making that call, good luck.
Boy, it's a good thing you sent somebody with the highest moral fiber to go deal with this asshole.
Hey guys, guess who's pulling that trigger?
All right, shit.
Who's cutting you in half if he finds out?
Well, just because you take the 2 million credits doesn't mean you go through with the job.
Yeah, I can just make this guy. So do I have the 2 million credits?
He's offering them to you as long as you do the job.
I can just take them right now?
Yep. 2 million credits to Judecco is nothing. So here's how Judecco makes their money. They go to a planet and they're like, oh, you're like, the rest of the galaxy's like at a median tech level 12, and you appear to be at tech level 5. Here, we'll go ahead and put a Class A starport on your planet, even though there's nothing here that would delegate that you would need a Class A starport. But we'll put a Class A starport here, and we'll advertise, and we'll spread technology around your planet to bring your tech level up to match your neighbors. In return for that, you give us a percentage of your gross global product.
Okay. So, yes, I'm going to take him up on the deal and take the 2 million credits.
Essentially, Jadeco is Walmart.
And I'm going to put my prosthetic hand to his head and pull the trigger.
Oh, shit. Okay, hold on here. He has no idea what you're doing. Go ahead and make your shot, and because it's point blank range, it is going to be a easy shot. All you got to do is get 4+. So it is gun combat plus dexterity.
Oh, yeah. I missed you.
I got 4.
Well, you hit him. Go ahead and roll your damage, and this is going to count as a critical.
I forgot how to calculate the damage.
So what kind of gun is it?
It's a snub pistol.
Let's see here. It is 3D minus 3.
So 3d6 minus 3?
Correct.
That's going to be 15.
Yeah, that's not good for him. He's dead. His head is you turned his head into a canoe.
And I take his ID card. I take his ID card and I close his little thing and I walk away.
Before you walk away, make an electronics computers plus intellect or EDU check.
Okay. 12.
You realize that this supercomputer in here is TL15 and would be capable, it is set up right now to decode a lock code.
Can this cargo unit be moved to our ship?
No, but if you fed in the astrogation data and you had a copy of the biometric key, you could go back to this cargo unit and use the computer to decode the lock sequence for the vault.
I'm gonna go over the comms and be like, guys, I just found a key to the vault.
You found a key to the key.
Okay.
I found a key to the key. We can, once we get our hands on it, use this computer that I found to hack it open.
Okay, so is wait for the ambush plan still on then?
The ambush already happened. The ambush already happened and did not go the way Hroal Irontooth was hoping.
Yeah, so now it's a race to get back to the ship.
Is he just gonna fuck off? Like, really?
Yeah, he did. He bailed. He took more losses than he was willing to accept.
Alright. Fuck. Okay, I came up with the last plan, so.
So now your guys' plan is kind of everything's fluid. So you're now on Tech World for at least a week. You have a supercomputer. All it has to be fed is the astrogation data. So Bakasura could do that right now. You could upload the astrogation data to him, and that part could be put in immediately. The only other thing that you have to do is somehow get the biometric key off the captain.
Okay.
So we need to find the captain.
Yeah, we just gotta. We could ambush them in their sleep. What do you think?
Captain, just go take your top off and seduce the captain. And
My boobs can only solve so many problems.
So, Ching-Shi, from your experience, that
very easy for you to get that DNA sample.
so from oh man, Game of Thrones. So
Trying to introduce the captain.
So, from your experience, from what you've learned about the captain, is that the captain may actually be asexual. He is older. This is his first command, and it's kind of an insulting command. His name is Captain Torsa. Being told to command a treasure ship is kind of an insult. It's usually given to high or older captains that are on their retirement. This is his first major command, and this is what they gave him with. And he feels like it's a babysitting job, and he's all about the job. He has like no personality and no interest in fraternizing with the crew. In fact, fraternization with the crew is a major infraction, and he will have no part of it, and he expects his crew members to have no part of it. He is a by-the-books guy.
Are we hostage him? Like,
So you want to here? Let me bring up
Can
the.
we steal some of his blood? Would that be enough?
How about a hand?
Well, it's funny that you say that because Captain Beth is actually in a position to do exactly that.
Captain?
And I got hired on as the amputation assistant. Perfect. I'm sorry, your hand is infected beyond repair. We gotta amputate.
Captain, you can do PCR nasal swabs, and we'll use that on the lock. To like smear a brain scratching on the lock. So like, guys, it's time for random COVID testing. Here we go.
So I'm placing you guys. I'm
Amputating.
placing you guys on the map of the ship to show where you're getting your information from. Okay, that's roughly where the three of you are. So, Ching-Shi, you are in the auxiliary docking space for one of the launches, which is where you were stationed. But you have access to other astrogators and other pilots who let you in on information. Rexar, you are on the crew deck, mostly because you don't have any need to be in a gun turret position as of yet. And then Captain Beth, you are in the doctor's office on the officer deck.
performing physicals or something, right?
So are you calling for the bridge crew to come down for physicals?
Yeah, or I'm gonna test them for
I think that's one cavity to swab.
Sandritis.
COVID test.
It's from the
That goes way up the nose.
Sandritis is really scary, so people would actually be like, "Oh no, are we at risk of that?" And then they go and want to get tested really bad. So it's apparently fatal.
What is that?
It's a disease caused by a microorganism found on the planet Cassandra. Your organisms attack the human respiratory system, attach to lung tissue, and spread throughout the whole body. First symptoms are a lack of energy and forgetfulness, leading to a complete lack of mobility and eventual senility before the victim slowly slips unconscious and dies. The whole process takes between 2 and 10 days.
Holy shit.
So, yeah.
You guys haven't even been to the planet Cassandra. Fuck. Okay, go ahead and make a deception check.
Okay.
It could be a... Okay, so... Yeah, that beats the 3. So you put in a call to the first officer, Commander Mary Jagad, and she's like, "Oh my God, how did that get on board?" Yes, of course. We'll send down, let's see, we'll send down Purser Vahan, Astrograde OSHA, and launch pilot Hanshaw right away, and then the captain and I will come down individually. We have to leave one command officer on the bridge at all times.
Alright. Should give Ching-Chi a chance to get the astrogation data over to Officer to put in the supercomputer too, right?
Sure. Well, I mean, Ching-Chi, if you want to deliver it in person, you can. That's probably obviously the safest bet. Or Ching-Chi can make an electronics comms check to see if she can encode it and send it as a burst transmission to Bakasura.
I also have the comms backpack if that helps.
I'll leave it up to Ching-Chi. I'm not sure which way to go. I'm busy testing.
Well, yeah, this whole time I thought we were still hiding in the cargo hold, so I guess that we're not. I guess we decided not to hide and randomly appeared. Like, we were here the whole time.
Right. Well, I mean, as soon as you came out, you guys can basically come and go from the cargo hold as you please. And theoretically speaking, you guys have to have someplace to meet to conceive your ill plots. So.
Right. I thought we were straight up hiding. Like the people on the ship didn't know we were there.
They don't know that you're down there, but you're already signed on as crew. So
okay. You
can basically come and go as you please.
Okay. In that case, I think I'll just hand deliver the information to Bakasura, arrange a drop point, and hand it over.
Okay, you'll have to put in a request for shore leave.
Okay. Boop 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 boop.
Go ahead and make a deception plus either intellect or EDU. And trust me, it's going to be really easy. Evidently, Commander Mary Jagad believes everything that you guys are telling her. She rolled a fucking 3.
I rolled a 9.
Yeah, sure. You need some fucking time off. Have at it. Whatever. Try not to do too many hookers and blow while you're out.
Hookers and blow.
Amen to that. Okay.
So, you make your way over to the to these cargo containers, and Bakasura shows you this computer. And you upload the data, and the computer basically starts to calculate, and then it says, needs secondary input, requiring DNA sample.
Okay.
Or
also, ignore all the blood.
Rather, yeah, there's still a body laying there.
Over the rotting corpse that's lying on the ground with a hole in its head.
The corpse is gone. I fed it to things.
Oh, okay. You put it in a recycler. Got it.
You gotta grow plants somehow. So yeah, this thing's basically requiring the secondary is the biometric key with DNA data.
Okay. So it's all primed and ready to go. We just have to wait until.
Yeah, I need to get the information to everybody.
Okay. So the first person is Astrogator OSHA. Captain Smith, make a medics plus EDU or intellect check.
Is there a place where I can buy a strain of this disease and actually infect the crew with it?
No, I was thinking of telling them that they have
We'll
it.
wear a mask and they can infect each other and die of it, and then we'll just have Captain's Corp.
Have false.
I was gonna tell them that, like, I gave them medicine so that they aren't contagious, but they only have like 2 weeks to go see their loved ones and tie up the loose ends in their life and shit. So maybe they would just like flee.
You know, now I'm really curious as to where Captain Beth found this disease.
Or you could make them quarantine their quarters.
It's just on the Traveler Wiki.
Oh, you've discovered the Traveler Wiki.
I was looking through.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm doomed.
Okay, wait, what am I doing?
So make a medic plus. I guess
Yeah.
it's. You can, in fact, you make a medic plus intellect or EDU check first.
Okay, so it's 15. That's good.
Yeah, that's really good. And go ahead and make a deception check. Deception plus intellect or EDU.
At 8.
So Astrogator OSHA is like, so the ship's never been to the planet Cassandra. How would we be infected with this?
I would assume that somebody brought it to Tech World.
Or it could be chemical warfare in the vault.
Nah, nobody's been in the vault.
Damn it.
Yeah, I'd assume it came from Tech World. I have to go, I have to go inform the scientists, the virologists here, try and trace the origin.
She says, huh, interesting. All right, well, you have my blood sample. And go ahead and make a another deception check.
Got a 9.
Ooh, you beat him. Purser Vahan is a very quiet, very stoic man. And he seems like a straight gray bureaucrat. His job is basically to be the accountant aboard. And he basically just rolls up his sleeve, you take his blood, and he's like, all right, see ya. And last but not least, make one more deception check.
That's 7.
Yeah, the launch pilot, Henshaw, she's like, yeah, whatever, take your blood, get done. So the next person that comes down is the first officer, Commander Marie Jagad. She is a young woman in her early 30s. She's been basically grown up on naval cruisers. She's described as being slightly a Mary Sue of a series of military sci-fi novels. So she is the catch-all that fixes everything. Go ahead and make your medic check.
$15.
Yeah, Mary Sue here is dumb as a post. And go ahead and make your deception check.
Okay. Oh my gosh. 6. I don't think that's enough.
What'd you get?
6.
So she listens to your spiel about this disease, and she's like, it's so weird. We haven't been to Cassandra, and well, I'll go ahead and file a report, and I'll send the captain down.
Awesome. Thank you.
Ching-Shi and Bakasura make recon plus intellect checks.
Oh, no. This is not good. Eight.
Okay, so you both are kind of standing outside the opening to this cargo container, discussing your next move, smoking a cigarette, and you look up and you see the smoking hull of the meat grinder coming into dock at Tech World.
Don't they know there's a deadly outbreak of Cassandritis on this ship?
So, Meat Grinder is coming in for a landing. Evidently, Hroal Irontooth is not stupid and is going to attempt to do a second assault. Or maybe he's just here for repairs.
Oh, jeez. That's spooky.
So how is the Martin 2's repairs coming along?
Slow. This is still the first day of the week, so, yeah, things are going to get interesting.
Okay.
I'm going to grant everybody 1 XP point for good roleplay and thinking things through. And we will pick this up again in 2 weeks. Next week, we will be off. I'm going to be up on the mountain doing mountain man things, camping. And there will be no Friday night game as well.
Oh.
Is there a Saturday game?
There will be a Saturday game. I'll be getting back in late on Friday, and I am planning both the Saturday afternoon and Saturday night games.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll be there. Okay. Thanks, guys. I'll see you then.
Bye.
All right, have a good night, guys.